Change your diet, change your life, change the planet.
So today's question is, Tim, you seem to be training an awful lot and you don't take any days off. Don't you think you're overtraining? Good question. When I first started this project, I was running 4 days a week, taking 3 days off. The runs were pretty long and pretty intense, and I had what I thought at the time were great results. Well, when I moved back east and started competing with the big boys, and also competing in national championships, I realized that I had a long way to go and a lot to learn. And one of the biggest things I learned was you've got to train a whole lot more. It's all about adaptation. If you allow your body too much rest, it will not adapt. It'll say, okay, this is not really that big of a deal. We don't really need to get stronger because we've got plenty of rest. So we'll just recover and be fine. But when you continually push yourself, when you continually do back-to-back 14 to 17 mile days, which is what I'm doing right now, the body's like, holy cow, this isn't stopping and we're not getting any rest, so we better adapt physiologically. We better start producing more mitochondria. We better start producing more fat-burning enzymes in those mitochondria. We better increase joint strength. We better increase bone strength. We better produce different types of muscle fibers. There's a whole slew of physiological adaptations that occur when you really push yourself. So am I overtraining? No. How do I know? Because I'm not getting injured and I'm getting faster. Am I tired all the time? Yes, but does that mean I'm overtraining? No, it simply means that I'm pushing my body. If my body stops responding, if my body stops growing, and if injury starts showing up, then yes, I'm overtraining. It's been too much. But right now, I'm at that point where I'm tired and I've got some soreness, but there's no major problems. And I keep getting faster, so I know that my body is properly adapting. Even though I'm under this massive training load right now, I keep setting new PRs. The last 3 or 4 races I've done have been PRs for me, lifetime PRs. Like the fastest I've ever run. And I'm going to be 44 in less than a month. So it's working. Many of you looking at my training are not athletes, or if you are athletes, you're not competitive athletes. I'm not running to just finish a 5K or finish a marathon. I'm looking to be the best that I can possibly be. I want to see where is my ceiling. And in order to do that, you've got to push the limits. You've got to stretch your comfort zone. You've got to be riding the edge of almost injured, almost overtrained. You've got to be right there. It's a fine line. And the longer that you do this, the more you know where that line is. When you first start out, it's very easy to overtrain because you don't know the signals that your body's going to give you yet. But I've been doing this for quite a few years now, and I'm really beginning to learn the signals, so I know when to back off. And if I need to take a day off, I will. So it really all comes down to your goals. Do you want to adapt, and how much do you want to adapt? How much do you want to grow, and how much are you willing to put in to get there? If you want to compete at a national level, you got to push the limits. You've got to be willing to overtrain and then back off. If you're not willing to go out of balance, you never find balance. Because balance is something that occurs just at the point of going too far. Because when you're standing solid on 2 legs, you may appear balanced, but you're really in between your balance points. It's not an efficient use of your right or your left. What you think is overtraining for you is working very well for me. My body is different than yours. I've adapted over years. I eat a different diet, I do a different type of training, and I have different goals. And if you want to meet the goals that I've set, you've got to be willing to push the limits. And you've got to know what the symptoms of overtraining are.